Today, I'm gonna show you exactly why your business can look profitable on paper and you still feel broke. 3 reasons, 3 real reasons. And by the time we're done, you're never gonna look at your finances the same way again. Here's the thing that nobody talks about. Most business owners are running their whole operation blind. Not because they're not smart, not because they don't work hard, but because nobody ever taught them the difference between 2 numbers. They look exactly the same, but they don't act the same. You ever look at your tax bill and just get mad? Like, where did this come from? Because your bank account don't reflect what the IRS is talking about. You ever ask yourself why I don't feel profitable? You're working, you're billing, clients are paying, but something ain't adding up. That feeling right there, that ain't a hustle problem. That's a knowledge problem. Now, stay with me because I'm going to break down cash flow versus profit in a way that's going to make you say, man, you know what? Nobody ever taught me this. And I'm going to give you those 3 reasons why people stay confused on this, including people who have been in business for years. Let's go. Reason number 1, we were taught profit first. But what if you ain't profitable? From day 1, school, business books, every course you've ever taken, everything points to profit. Revenue minus expenses, as they say, that's the number. That's how you know if you're winning. Profit is the scoreboard. Profit is the goal. Profit is what you celebrate. There's even a whole book called Profit First. And look, I ain't knocking it. It's a solid concept. But here's my question. What if you ain't profitable yet? What do you do then? Because a lot of people walking around here trying to manage profit and they don't even have enough to even say that I even have a profit to manage. And nobody gave them a framework to even have that conversation to begin with. But I understand why we default to profit. I get it. It's simple. It's 1 number. It's easy to explain. It's easy to put on a slide. So when somebody asks you, how's business? You want to say, yeah, I'm profitable. It feels like success. And chasing that feeling makes all the sense in the world. But here's the problem. When profit is the only thing that you're watching, you stop asking the deeper questions. You stop asking when the money is moving. You stop asking how the money is moving. You just look at the number and decide that you're okay or you're not. And that one-dimensional view you will get, it gets you in trouble every time. Now, I've sat across from business owners who were celebrating profit. They were genuinely excited. They showed me their numbers. They showed me their growth. And they told me that this is our best year yet. And then I just asked one question. I said, hey, listen, are y'all paying yourselves consistently? Then all of a sudden, the silence, the long pause. Not really, they said. So if you're profitable, the owner's not getting paid. That ain't no win. That's a system that works for the business and not for you. And that's exactly what happens when profit is the only thing you've been taught to watch. Listen, profit matters. I'm not going to sit here and say that it don't. But profit is a destination. It tells you where you ended up. Cash flow tells you how you're traveling, just like gas in a fuel tank. And if you're only watching the destination, you're going to miss every pothole, every detour, every gas station, and every moment where you almost ran out of gas along the way. So start asking better questions, not just, did I make money? But ask, where's my money right now? When is it coming in? What's the gap between what I earn and what I actually have? That is the shift. That's where financial clarity actually lives. So, reason number 2, profit is a number, but cash flow is timing. This is the one that gets people all the time because it don't sound complicated until you live in it. You invoiced the client. You did the work. You sent the bill. In your books, that's income. It might even show up as profit on your P&L, right? But the client ain't paid you yet, and the bills are due right now. Not when the client decides to pay. They're due now. So what are you going to do? This situation happens to good business owners every single day. And they feel stupid about it, like they did something wrong. But they didn't do anything wrong. They just don't understand that profit is recorded when you earn it. And cash flow is about when you actually have it. These two things don't always happen at the same time. And the gap between them, That's where that stress lives, right? That's where that pressure is. That's where that sleepless nights come from. That's why you feel broke even when your books say you shouldn't be feeling like that. I worked with a business owner. He was a service-based, good revenue, growing business, and every month felt like a scramble. He would have a great month, invoice everybody, and then spend the next 30 days chasing payments while his own bills piled up. And on paper, he was very profitable. But in the bank, he was barely surviving. And he kept asking me, Mac, what am I doing wrong? He wasn't doing nothing wrong. He just had a timing problem disguised as a money problem. His profits were real, but his cash was broken. Two different issues, two different solutions, and you can't fix one by just staring at the other. So when you start managing cash flow separately from profit, like when you start tracking when money actually lands, not when it's earned, you start making smarter decisions. You start building a collections process. You start thinking about payment terms. You start looking at when your expenses are due, and then you match it back to when your income hits. That's cash flow management. And it's a completely different skill than watching your profit margin. Profit tells you if you made money, but cash flow tells you if you will survive. Two completely different questions, and you need to be asking both. Now, reason number 3. Sometimes they can look the same, but if you're not tracking both, you're getting distracted. Now, here's where it gets sticky. If you run a cash-based business, people pay you on the spot. No invoices, no net 30 terms. You might be thinking that this don't even apply to you. But check this out. When cash comes in, profit and cash flow may feel like the same thing. And for a moment, they actually are. But that's the moment where people tend to get too loose. Because when the money is there, the account looks decent. So you start to pay off credit cards that you've been carrying. You start to put out a little bit of extra to handle some personal stuff. Then you start to buy things that you've been putting off. And then you tell yourself, oh, it's fine. You know, the business is profitable, right? Profitable. But you ain't tracking what's left. And you're not separating what belongs to the business from what belongs to you. And then 2 to 3 months from now, when a slow season hits, when a big expense comes due, when taxes are owed, when things are starting to look crazy, you got an empty account. You got an empty account and you're wondering where the money went. That's not a character flaw. That is what happens when there's no system. That's what happens when there's no separation between business money and personal money. So when you're making financial decisions based on what you see in the account today, instead of what you know is coming tomorrow, I've been there. Most entrepreneurs have been there. It doesn't make you bad with money. It just means that you just never had a framework to manage it. So I had somebody tell me once, Mac, I had a great month. I made more than I ever made, but I ain't got nothing to show for it. And when we sat down and traced it back, I realized the credit card got paid down. A few personal bills happened. Quarterly taxes wasn't set aside. And then a vendor invoice hit that they had all of a sudden forgotten about. And guess what? It happened all at the same time. Yeah, they had a great month, but they ain't have no money left. And they were confused because the profit was real, but the cash management wasn't there. Listen, again, that's not a revenue problem. That's a tracking problem. And tracking problems are fixable, but only if you know you have one. So start tracking both separately. Your profit tells you the health of your business model. Your cash flow will tell you the health of your bank account. And when you track both consistently, monthly, and with intention, you stop getting surprised. You stop getting emotional at tax time. You stop wondering why you don't feel what the numbers say you should feel, because you actually know what's happening. Now, the confusion between cash flow and profit ain't your fault. Nobody taught you this. But guess what? Now you know. And knowing means you can build different. You can stop running blind and start running with visibility. And a business with visibility makes better decisions every single time. Here's what I want you to walk away with today. We were taught profit first, but profit alone will leave you stuck if you don't know how to manage the flow. Remember, profit is a number. Cash flow is timing. And if you're not tracking both, especially in a cash-based business, you are one slow month away from a crisis you didn't see coming. This is exactly why I wrote Built to Pay You, because too many entrepreneurs are working hard. They're building real businesses, and they're still not getting paid the way they should. This book breaks down everything, the framework, the systems, the financial clarity you need to build a business that actually works for you, not just on paper, in real life, in your bank account. The link's in the description. Go get it. Now, before you go, I want you to do 3 things to show a commitment to yourself. First thing I want you to do is I want you to like and share this video, because somebody in your circle is so confused about their financials right now that they're about to burst at the seams from frustration. Be a great friend and send them this before they do. Next, I need you to subscribe to this channel so you never miss the content that can change how your business pays you. And then finally, get a copy of this book. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for a friend. Maybe it's for a stubborn family member that thinks they got it all figured out. But you know that they don't. Let the systems in this book change their hearts and do the heavy lifting for you. Don't stress about it no more. Just click on the link in the description and let us get you started. Because remember, your business is designed to serve others, but it is built to pay you. And if your business ain't paying you, I encourage you and I highly expect to hear from you soon. Until next time, this is Coach Max signing off.